Okay, I have 6 o'clock, so I'd like to call to order the Planning, Zoning, and Historic Commission special meeting of Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Franco, could you call the roll?
Reyes-Braher.
Here.
Charlie Myers is absent. Commissioner Feck.
Here.
Commissioner Connie Kruger is absent. Commissioner Stenick.
Yes.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Yes.
And Chair Brunner.
Yes. Okay, with the quorum met, we can move on to our next item on our agenda, which will be the approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for November 2nd, 2023?
Make a motion we approve the November 2nd, 2023 minutes as presented.
Is there any discussion?
Second.
Oh, second, sorry.
Second.
Great. Any discussion?
No.
Okay.
Reyes-Braher.
Yes.
Feck.
Yes.
Stenick.
Yes.
Scarpelli.
Yes.
And Brunner.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the next item on our agenda, public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on an agenda or non-agenda item?
I would.
Okay.
My name is Jeff Newing. I work with Colombo Management, Joe Colombo. We have come in tonight requesting a special use permit for a banquet hall facility. And just recapping the application and our intentions on what we want to do. We're looking at basically doing a part-time banquet hall there. We're going to be,
Yes. So, yeah. We're going to have the public hearing where the official presentation can be made at that point.
We're going to swear you in.
We'll swear you in. Yeah, no problem. No, it's all good. It's all good. You know, and I was thinking you're going to give us a nice little, taster.
Sure, no problem.
No, it's all good. Okay, great. So seeing none else, we'll move on to the first item in our new business, which will be the public hearing for a request for a special use to allow for a banquet hall as described in section 157.065A1D2 of the zoning ordinance per ordinance number 23-24 located at 201 Christina Drive, East Dundee, Illinois 60118 in the M1 Limited Manufacturing District. May I have a motion to open the public hearing as described?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right. Reyes-Braher.
Yes.
Feck.
Yes.
Stenick.
Yes.
Scarpelli.
Yes.
And Brunner.
Yes. Okay, first, Franco, I'm going to ask. Did we receive any emails or calls in regarding to this special use?
None.
Okay. Do we have anyone in the audience who will be speaking on behalf of this special use application?
Yes.
Okay. So if you would approach the podium, we'll swear you in.
Sure.
Jeff, if you could raise your hand, you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So if you'd like to proceed.
Sure.
Jeff,
Thank you.
one more time. Can you please state your full name into the microphone?
My full name is Jeff Newing.
Thanks.
And I'm manager at Colombo Management.
Fantastic.
And we are applying for special use of a banquet hall facility at our location at 201 Christina Drive in East Dundee to do a part-time banquet facility there amongst the storage facility that we have in place of storing exotic and classic automobiles. This is a similar concept that is done at other locations, both locally and nationally. Places like Rich Harvest Farms down in the south, a golf course that has a classic car collection and a banquet facility there, as well as Warehouse 109, which has a classic motorcycle collection and a banquet facility there. We are not going to conduct any cooking or serving of beverages ourselves. That'll all be catered in by whatever customer desires. We have several facilities that we've already worked with in the past on other occasions, places like Moretti's Banquets and MK Colory that would be caterers that we would offer to our customers. And we would plan on only doing these events very sparingly throughout the year because we still conduct our normal business in our office there. And this is just an added benefit that we would like to pursue in the space. The space has been fully remodeled, both our offices and the storage facility. And so it has a very nice appeal, clean, well-organized car placement, but has lots of room to spread things out and bring some guests in to do some fun stuff.
I forwarded the email you sent me to the commissioners with the pictures.
For the pictures and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. But in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay, great. Would you mind standing up here in case we have some?
Absolutely.
Okay, does anyone have any comments or questions for Jeff?
Well, it seemed like the parking should be fine, based on, I drove around. Seems like that shouldn't be an issue.
We even added an additional 20 spots to the lot just to make sure.
The only question I had is, and this is more like a recommendation, for the restrooms having capacity of what you have, do you find that just having those few toilets was sufficient?
It was deemed sufficient with the building department, and we had those plans approved in advance. We don't, even though our occupancy is at a certain number, we plan on having maybe 100, maximum 150 guests there for private events.
Okay.
Our desire isn't to pack the house. Our desire is to have an exclusive audience, more of a high caliber audience, so it won't be an everyday type of banquet facility. It'll be just for an exclusive, more expensive audience only, and it'll be a smaller client.
Thank you.
Sure.
Other questions? Do you have it?
Yeah, Jeff, how, at the other venues where you've done these, how do you handle the liquor?
Catered in. I know for a fact with Moretti's Catering, they have a catering license for alcohol. So they bring all the liquor in and out, and they carry the insurance. We would obviously carry dram shop insurance as well, have the appropriate licensing with the village for that type of a thing. But our desire is not to be servers of alcohol at our location.
Okay, and if I can ask the village attorney, so and I guess let me interject, I spoke with Rob Gorman today. Rob Gorman runs the bricks down here on the river, and he said the village of Carpentersville created a special license, especially for banquet halls, so that they don't have to purchase the liquor through the normal commercial lines. It's considered a private party, and they can go to Costco or go to Binny's or wherever, bring their own liquor in, because it's essentially a private party rather than a bar or a liquor sales establishment. Are we looking at doing something along the similar lines, or are we going to require that the banquet hall, if approved and if they get the special use and the variance, that they would carry some other type of license?
Right now, the village does not have such a banquet hall license, so, and the liquor license would be obviously issued by liquor commissioner and then by the village board. That wouldn't be tied to its special use. It would be a separate approval process. The caterers within the village have to get a liquor license from the village, so meaning that they would have to follow those steps and use caterers, obviously, that were properly licensed throughout the village, or the banquet hall could, if it, in the future decides it wants to serve food and alcohol on its own terms, it would have to fall within a restaurant type liquor license. If the village, decides that it gets more requests for these banquet halls, and other places are doing things like Carpentersville, that might be something that the village board considers in the future, but I'm not aware of any discussions by the village or staff to do that at this time.
Do you know in town, like if, let's say you have a private business and you want to have a holiday party there, and you hire in, a caterer to bring in booze, do you need to do a liquor license for that?
I don't believe so. It's, that's the beauty of this new license in Carpentersville. They call it a K license. But if you look it up, they just consider every event to be a private party. Yeah. Therefore, it's a special license that Rob Gorman gets. Therefore, any bartender that has Bassett certification can go in and serve liquor without a license.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
in this situation, if you're having a catered serving alcohol at a a function, that's, you know, renting out like a banquet hall or something. It'd be different, obviously, if you're just, you know, having a party at your home and just,
Right.
you know, you have friends
Yeah.
serving alcohol, you don't need a liquor license.
Or I know, like
for a
at
party.
my company in an office building in Warren, in Lisle, we had to do
Right.
capacity, but they came into our office and did it, and it was fine.
Yes, so, but anytime you're having, you know, a large, like a event, you know,
Mhm.
the public or anything like that, you
Yeah.
need, and caterers, any caterer,
Yeah.
they're specifically required under, you know, our code that they have, if they're serving alcohol, they need to have
Yeah.
a catering
Got it,
license.
okay.
It's a J1 cater license.
And then they can bring that liquor, their
Yeah.
license to any place in,
A place of business in
In town.
East Dundee.
okay,
But they would have to prove that they're also licensed in whatever municipality that their business is out of.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool,
And they would have to notify the police department too, per the code.
okay.
Yeah, yes, so, and it sounds like catering is the way they're planning on going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly,
that business model doesn't sound like what Jeff communicated to me. It sounds more like your caterer Moretti's, like you said, they would just work with me on the J1 and we'll get that taken care of.
Yeah,
and certainly, you know, if a business is operating, if they have something, businesses evolve all the time, things change, and especially, you know, in the liquor
Sure.
code, with carry out liquor and things
Yeah.
in recent years have changed. But, you know, business doesn't feel like it falls within the code, they're always willing to bring it to staff. And,
Yeah.
You know, that can be something that's
Yeah.
always discussed.
Yeah, you could change the liquor license type in the future if you want.
okay,
And, so then I guess, apart from the liquor commission issuing the license,
The village board issues the
the
license.
village board, that would then, your hours of operation, I mean, you're not gonna bother anyone out there till maybe 5 in the morning when some of the businesses out there
Yeah.
start to come in, but, are you gonna, your ending time for your events will be no
I mean,
later than 2 AM unless you do a
The
New
kind of
Year's Eve?
clientele base that we're marketing towards or would be trying to strive to have is not going to be an all-nighter type of,
Okay.
4 AM. No, that's not our interest. Midnight,
yeah,
midnight, 1 AM would be by far more than.
yeah. And I'd like to bring up, we do have, in the packet, a recommendation from staff to have the end time be midnight.
Okay,
And that's mainly because we have no other, active bars out in that area, and it would require another police officer, during the late night shift to go out to being pulled away from our downtown area. So that was a police
And the
feedback.
Infinity
And also it matches the
condition.
conditions that we have on another banquet, the Infinity Banquet Hall in town.
Okay.
But it sounds like that.
They recently closed.
Oh, they recently closed.
is that,
Infinity recently closed.
oh.
Cool. Any other questions?
Just, it was more directed to the building department, but, and I told Chris to probably answer it tonight in front of all of us if anyone else has any. So at the occupancy load of 350, the facility has the proper HVAC and all the changes of air and bathroom and everything to accommodate that occupancy number, even though I realize you're only going to do 100 or 150, but should an event of 350 pop up, the facility is equipped to handle it?
It was designed that way, the
Okay.
design criteria as the plans were reviewed.
Okay,
The actual plumbing would cap out at about 400.
Okay.
What they have, the egress is way over 350. The staircases are wide, there's multiple exits. They added another exit off the second floor, like an emergency exit out the side of the building, so you don't have to go down through the building. And there's another 5 exits on the first floor. But yeah, the HVAC, they added additional units. So it's all been designed for that, for actually more than the occupancy load of 350.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, and just to also put in here, do you have any concerns about the mezzanine separately from the overall?
No, it seems like while we've given 350 overall, we've said no more than 200 on the mezzanine, and I have no issue with that.
150.
150,
Yeah.
okay.
And then 200 on the main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could be 350 on the main.
Oh, plus another 100.
No,
No.
150 within.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
if nobody goes upstairs, 350 is fine.
Yeah.
But if 150 upstairs, so be it.
200 down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any?
I'm good.
Okay. So it sounds like there's going to be no additional renovation required at this point. It's all done, ready to go.
Pretty much all done, ready to go.
Okay. And then this is really, one of the things that we have to say in regards to finding of fact is how it may impact your neighbors. But are you more or less the owner of all
Yes.
of the neighboring
All the
properties?
neighbors, all the buildings on our property.
Yeah.
All the tenants, and all the tenants in that building. There's one retail tenant in that building that
Yeah.
closes at 6. And we are changing out tenants in the other unit in that building, so everybody's daytime operation.
Yeah. And you have some incentive to not make their lives
Right, exactly.
bad.
What do you think the hours of operation or events, what do you think your peak time will be? Because you said this is not like a traditional banquet hall, not like a weddings, right? It's more exclusive,
More exclusive, niche type of a
Yeah.
clientele base, a dealership, car
Yeah.
release, corporate executive type of an event.
Yeah.
I see it happening on the weekends, Friday evening, a Thursday evening, a Wednesday evening, Saturday,
Yeah.
during the day or evening, that type of a thing.
conferences, stuff like that, you would imagine.
Then my last question has to do then with some of the other plans you have in the area in general. I know we have a new PUD being discussed for the area in general. Do you see this fitting in with the other developments you plan on?
Well,
putting
the
in?
other developments that we are currently working on are on the north end of our
Mhm.
property, far away from this.
Okay.
Most everything is developed. We do have a couple outlots right on Route 72 that are not developed yet, and we're still working on ideas for that and plans, but we just are almost finished with our retail building next to
Mhm.
Speedway there. So that'll be opening up this year with some tenants. So yeah, we don't see any additional conflict with anything that we have in place right now.
Do you see any potential synergy with stuff that you're doing in the future?
Depending on what goes on in the lots in front of us, we've had desire for restaurants there or
Mhm.
hotel or something in that nature that would both benefit our clientele base and the traffic, but it just hasn't come to fruition yet. So,
Okay.
our goal with the whole park was to make everything work together. Adding
Mhm.
retail and food for our client base, the gas station, all the different repair shops, the potential car wash for our tenants that have dirty cars and that kind of thing. So our goal was always to try and make everything work together. This was a unique opportunity exploration because of Joe's car collection and seeing how we could capitalize on, adding something to it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Any other questions?
If somebody was interested in hosting an event, they would just contact the Pell Group.
They would contact us. We've been talking to several different experienced and seasoned banquet directors, mainly one in Elgin at the Highland Loft. She's been operating that facility. Marilyn has been operating that for a number of years. It's a 3-story banquet facility that can seat 800 people. And she's booked solid through 24 and 25, and she's looking for other venues to book. So our goal is to capture people like that are well experienced, that can offer our venue as an alternative concept or an alternative venue, and then they would come in and handle all the catering, all the rentals, and all that kind of thing, and just give us a venue fee. So that's the kind of experience we want. We don't want to throw the events ourselves. We want an experienced person coming in to do that. So keep it well refined.
Great. Any other questions? So Caitlin, just before we close the public session here, when we actually talk about the approval of the special use and conditions, that's done outside of the public hearing, correct?
Yes, as long as you're satisfied with all of the testimony from the applicant, you don't have any further questions.
Yeah.
You can close the public hearing and then deliberate amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Then I guess before you do that, so as Chairman Bruner said, the staff is recommending a close time of midnight. Does that pose a problem?
I don't foresee it posing a problem. There might be a unique circumstance at a time or another, I come from the hospitality industry myself. I worked in it for 30 years, so nothing good happens after midnight. And that's well versed in experience, so my desire would be to keep it all in front of it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have your own security out there?
We do.
Okay.
We have our own security staff patrolling the yard, and part of our negotiation with banquet customers would be we would provide security for the building as well for events. So they would both be protecting the contents in our building as well as the outside. Keep these in order.
High-priced vehicles in there.
We can go through the rest of the conditions if we're going to do that one. Yeah, so for condition 2, that's just for specific events.
So that is like as far as your
No banners?
spotlights, banners,
Okay.
stuff like that, or marketing. That's out of place.
Okay. But if they market on the internet or whatever.
Oh,
then
sure,
it's-
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
It sounds like their goal is more high-end, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
sound like that would be an issue.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we have all our questions, eh? Okay, so may I have then a motion to close the public hearing?
I'd like to make a motion that we close the public hearing.
A second.
Okay, great.
Okay, Reyes Braher,
Yes.
Feck,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Scarpelli,
Yes.
and Brunner.
Yes. So do we have anything we want to talk about before we look at the findings of fact? I think we could probably jump right into that. Okay, so we'll go through each of these questions. So first, in the findings of fact, the use is not injurious to the use and enjoyment of the property in immediate vicinity for purposes already permitted, nor substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood. I do not believe it's injurious.
I don't either.
Yeah, especially there. Yeah. And then the next one, the use will not impede with normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for its uses permitted in the district. I don't think, no. Will not impede, yes. Adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, or necessary facilities have been or will be provided. I believe that's already done. Adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion on the public streets. Yes,
Yeah.
big roads. And then, how is this proposed special use in harmony with purposes, goals, objectives, policies, and standards of the Village of East Dundee Comprehensive Plan, the zoning ordinance, and any other plan, program, or ordinance adopted or under consideration pursuant to the official notice by the village? This is our kind of blanket statement. So I don't see it in violation of anything that we have on record.
No, it's a unique use, but it's something that should be well received.
Okay, great. So we have a recommendation from the staff to, and that's the last one on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would
So
vote on it.
yeah, I'll do that. So could I have a motion to approve the findings of fact with the answer of yes for the first 4, and to our blanket to provide for an adequate and attractive commercial base to serve the needs of village residents as the answer to the 5th question?
I'll make a motion that we approve the findings of fact as presented here tonight for the public hearing on the Pal Group property.
I'll second.
Okay, Reyes Braher,
Yes.
Feck,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Scarpelli,
Yes.
and Brunner.
Yes. That was how many? 6?
Yes, 5.
Great. So now the staff has presented with us 5 conditions to place on the special use. So if you haven't taken a look at those, I'll read them in for the record. The first one was limit the special use location to units A and B of 201 Christina Drive as depicted in the attached site plan. So this is a multi-unit building. These are the 2 units targeted for this specific use, so we're constraining it to what it's been applied for. Second one, no physical outdoor marketing for specific or individual events or displays or lighting promoting the banquet hall's specific or individual events other than what is permitted by existing village code and PUD or with pre-approval by the village board. So as Franco said, this would be like giant searchlights, inflatable things, stuff like that, big flags. It allows them to have signage that's permanent advertising the building if they wish, or anything non-physical.
And if they want to have a one-time event, huge event that they want to have, the village board could grant them the one-time.
Yeah. Okay. And number 3, banquet activities shall not occur between the hours of 12 a.m. and 9 a.m. And that was, okay.
Franco, if, say on a New Year's Eve, they want to stay open till 2, or that's something else the village board could approve on a one-time or a case-by-case basis?
Yeah, it would need approval, case by case.
Because I believe that, I don't know if every year, but in years past, all the bars downtown were able to stay open till 3 or 4, but after 2, there was no re-entry. If you left, you couldn't come back in.
Yeah, we struck that in the code.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I think though that this is a valid feedback that we add without pre-approval.
I could do that.
Or with
For number 3,
Yes.
may extend with approval by the village board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The New Year's Eve one's a very good example. And then the 4th one, all entertainment and banquet related events and rentals must be confined inside to units A and B of 201 Christina Drive. So that would mean like no bouncy houses outside, or giant stereo systems or whatever. And then 5, the venue shall comply with village noise regulations and requirements.
Part of those requirements would be the liquor license that we talked about, the catering.
So the way this is worded, it sounds like it's just noise.
If you want us to further specify it for the ordinance, Caitlin could.
I can put in something like the property must comply with all applicable requirements of the village code, including without limitation all noise regulations or requirements and all fire and building codes and standards.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And liquor license.
Yes.
Caitlin's gonna work on this overnight, so I could get it tomorrow morning, so it could go to Monday's village board meeting for you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
I will make a motion that we recommend that the village board approve the special use for 201 Christina Drive, units A and B, subject to the 5 conditions as set forth in the village staff recommendation to the Planning and Zoning and Historic Commission of January 18th, 2024, with a slight amendment to number 3, allowing the applicant or the business owner to approach the village board on extended hours for special events, and then an amendment to number 5 that's more encompassing of not only the noise regulations, but all of the village codes and fire codes and liquor license requirements of the village.
I'll second that.
All right,
Very well done.
good. Reyes Braher,
Yes.
Feck,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Scarpelli,
Yes,
Brunner.
Yes. Great. Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you took the findings of
I
fact.
have it.
Okay, great. So you can stay for the rest of our meeting, but you can also head on out. Okay, so moving on to our next item of business, we're going on to our Historic Commission items, and this will be having a hearing to either approve or deny a certificate of appropriateness application for renovations located at 325 Meyer Street. So do I have an applicant here who would like to speak for this?
Well, if anybody has any questions, I guess.
I think it would be helpful to have just an overview of the project, why you're doing it, and what do you think it will add to the...
Just an informal
Yeah.
Q&A, Carl, on what your plans are and stuff like that.
Well, the main thing is to bring the bathrooms
Mhm.
outside, for the outside and more larger bathrooms for summer.
And Carl, sorry, can you state your full name into the microphone? Thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, that's a primary
Mhm.
reason. The bathroom we bumped out the side, not to make it more room on the inside, and then put a deck on the side to match the existing building.
Yeah.
The cornice, I guess, whatever details on there, we're gonna continue on the addition.
Right, so the general plan is, right, you're adding these bathrooms, you're gonna create a gap because of the extra bathroom where you're gonna fill that in with a deck, right, on the first floor. And then on the second floor above it is gonna be additional dining?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, primarily because that's the fire escape,
Mhm.
and also, you have to put some,
Yeah,
so we just thought it would be a good idea to put a deck there rather than just a walkway.
right. And then the siding that you plan on using will be a continuation of a
Right.
look matching the rest of the
Fiber
building?
cement, whatever's on
Mhm.
now, it's a fiber cement. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm gonna get this.
So it'll be like, and you'll be keeping the same like color? It'll be like a
Yes.
red painted
Everything's-
clapboard?
Yeah.
And then the trim pieces, like the cornering, the molding, are you gonna be looking to match
Yes.
what you have on the existing building?
And that's what I saw in the print. The
Yeah.
print looked like it said all the cornice and everything was going to match what was on the building.
Right. And the poles are gonna be wrapped in some kind of composite that maybe has some fluting in it or something.
Okay.
We're not sure yet, but something that to match the fluting that's on the corners now.
And what was the material, do you remember, Frank, that he was gonna use? Oh, either can answer. For the railings, for the deck and the decking itself.
I'm not 100% sure, maybe a composite that looks like wood
Mm-hmm.
for the ballasts.
Okay.
Some kind of top rail.
Would you be doing then would it be turned? Like, on a lathe, they'd be rounded balusters?
Maybe square,
Square, okay.
I think.
What about the existing black fence? Is that, what's gonna happen to that?
The fence in front.
Yeah,
The deck's not, or none of the work is gonna be here to fence, so
Okay.
that's pretty much
it'll
staying.
stay.
Yeah,
That's how it is, because where it goes across, it's set back from the fence.
Yeah,
Did you ever, from last time you and I spoke, did you think about a plan for securing the outdoor bar during off hours or inclement weather? Did you guys come up with a plan?
Yeah, I think there's something kind of acrylic panels, something maybe similar to,
There's a few ideas. There's a pocket system that come out of the wall and wrap around,
Post to post?
or a pull down.
yeah, poster post, and there's some of the early hours, they have some kind of composite. I don't know what's made of, but some kind of composite. And also I like to be screened too, because at night in the summer, like it's pretty foggy out.
Yeah.
So I like, something that can take the composite out, put screens in, and probably where the liquor
Yeah.
would be some kind of doors that go down in front of the liquor. I'm not sure how this will work out, but it's
Sure.
built for security.
well, you're gonna have to remove part of the fence, right?
Yeah, about 20 feet of the fence is gonna have to come out because you're extending the face of the building to the south by 20 feet, according to the print.
Yeah,
And then on the visual,
this one.
if you want
If
to
you wanna come
come look.
Yeah.
So I'm looking
So
at.
here's the front corner of your building now. You're gonna extend this wall here.
Right,
So the fence now comes to here.
right.
I would think you'd want to take that, because you're not gonna, all the wood and whatever you're putting on the building, you'd be seeing through, the fence is not opaque, but you'd see the building, but there'd almost be no reason to have that 20 feet of fence there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could leave it, it's totally up to you, but I would think that,
Yeah, it's not in this
let me
picture.
get to the next,
Well, I see, yeah, I see, what you- but
But yeah, I mean,
I was thinking of putting some kind of planters there or
Here.
something.
yeah,
So-
okay, yeah.
So right now, your
Yeah.
fence comes up to the building here,
Right.
you're adding this here, and to me, it would be a waste or a shame to cover that brand-new building that looks like a historic building with a fence.
Right, well, that's wrought iron, I mean, you can see
Yeah.
through it, there's nothing, you know,
Right.
nothing solid about it.
Yes.
Yeah, but to his point, I do think this is more attractive.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to put, like you're saying, you put planters, he was saying you might put planters
Planters in
there,
front, yeah.
but you'd still have the fence.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's your choice, your building.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, because there's already a gate there,
so you would have people come in there still?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Is it-
I don't know if there's enough, well, depending on, does the existing fence protrude in front of the building? It does, okay, then maybe there is enough room to still use the gate and walk alongside the building.
I think there is, 'cause I think between the gate and
okay.
and the new part would be, it's gotta be like 6 feet here, I would think.
It's, I mean, it's
4 or 5
about the width of
Up to
this existing door, I mean, really, if that's all to scale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
4
I-
feet.
Well, right,
It's
but
like-
it
It goes to that corner right there?
no, I think the current fence comes like this
Yeah, it
and
comes
runs in
out.
front of.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
it-
then it's,
It
yeah.
might be enough for some like
Yeah,
tops,
yeah,
tables,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that way you would have to fit with the building, right, the
The
building
fence
code.
runs along the sidewalk, so it's
Good
actually
point.
in front of, because then there's a return that goes back to the building.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think
there's
it'd be
a
at
little
least
more
6
space
feet.
than-
Okay, yeah.
Fence to the back, so
Okay,
it might be good enough for you.
Sure.
Something, nice to look at or seating.
yeah. And then, the only other question I really have is, you have the existing outdoor bar, is that gonna go away with this? Or is that gonna,
We're thinking about maybe relocating it and
Okay.
make it like for a band.
oh, okay, making it like a little band shell?
It'll be pointing that way instead of this. I don't know if it makes a difference or not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good,
And, so when we don't have a band, we could probably take the bar out, make it seating.
Oh, okay, so it would be like, in there sometimes, it would be it's a
Yeah,
move.
somebody wants a-
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's a real upgrade. Yeah, any questions from anyone else?
I do have one little comment. Overall, I just have to say thank you for trying to stay true to
Mhm.
the overall architecture. Thank you. It's really much appreciated. I love the concept too. The only thing I would ask your architect to do is right at the right where the men's washroom toilet hinge is at, there's that door that's adjacent to it that leads to the new bar. For ADA, they need at least 12 inches clear, and it looks like it's 6 or 8. Very, very minor.
And then possibly need a door behind the bar itself.
Yes.
We have a service for our
Oh,
staff.
yeah, that's for the staff.
There's another door next to it, that's for the bathrooms.
Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking about.
To the left of the new bar?
Yes.
Okay,
The new door to the left.
Existing 4-level plan, that door more to, I guess to the north or.
The west.
Or,
Yeah.
east. That just goes around our service from this part to that all.
And she's talking about the one on the west.
Yeah, so the door can't open all the way.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, it's just more ADA for accessibility for the state code.
Right.
Is that, Lillian, so you can open the door wider, or?
Well, it's if you're in a wheelchair,
Mhm.
the idea is that you have the 12 inches, so when you're in the wheelchair, you have enough area where you can pull the door open or push it out. In this case, you're pushing it out. It's pushing it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This
Well,
one
you
right
see
here,
the staff
this
of the
door right
ramp.
here.
Out here,
This
That's
needs to be
Change this one for bigger?
No, no, this needs to move up north.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Talking about this door.
Oh, no, I think this one,
This is,
this is the dining, right?
Right.
This is a little, like he said, it's just for staff, so that's fine. But it's just this one, per code, it just needs to move north. This one right here. Just tell your architect. Yeah, but everything else there.
Yeah. It's nice adding the ramp.
Yeah, I love the ramp. Yeah, the ramp was great.
yeah, we might change, I don't know, well, I guess it could stay, I was thinking, no, it's gotta stay. We're not moving it, going this way, that's.
Yeah.
Flip flop on
Mhm.
it. I don't know.
So this is 5 feet wide. It's
Yeah.
enough for a landing to turn. Yeah, it should be fine. Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Okay. Well, I think I would entertain a motion to approve a certificate, recommendation of approval. No, actually, to
Issue-
approve it, to issue a
final
certificate of,
Yeah.
to actual motion to issue a certificate of appropriateness for this property.
I'll make a motion that we, the East Dundee Planning and Zoning and Historic Commission issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application located at 325 Meyer Street for the renovations that they've presented to us in our packets.
A second.
Riz Braher,
Yes.
Feck,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Scarpelli,
Yes.
and Brunner.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm personally really excited about this. I think it'll really be a great improvement.
You know, I first bought it in 2009,
Mhm.
and it's, now it's gonna want to wait on it. I can't wait to see the Solanos. They're doing a heck of a, job inside.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really a lot of action, a lot of things, a lot of improvements down here. So this'll really be great.
All right, so we'll move forward and.
You move forward with Chris's department and your permits and everything, and
Yeah.
go from there.
Great.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a quote now from the carpenters.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What about revisions that we have, should we just go as Chris one, or?
Yeah, that'll be submitted with your permits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Carl, we could talk with you and Erica could talk about the other issue that we had.
There's that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah. So let them clear out.
If anyone wants a drink water.
Yeah, if anyone wants needs a break or
a quick discussion.
well, okay.
Just.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But we are still being recorded, so we.
Still recording.
Let's say our comments.
Yeah.
Very silly question, but could it ever be paused or no?
You could have a recess, I would assume.
Yeah, you could have a recess or, the recording is really just them to take down
Yeah.
the minutes. When like the recordings have to be kept or the closed sessions that are more important to this, you cannot, you can take recess, but you can't pause them during closed session.
We go above and beyond
But these are
recording
video
and publishing.
Yeah, these
It's
are
not
video
state
recorded.
law. Just the minutes are state law.
Yes, yeah, that you put on YouTube. Yeah, please do.
Recordings really, we are really good at the area for providing recordings publicly. Everyone should be back.
That would we would have to say there's no time for that to show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just, airing of grievances. Okay, so we have everyone back. So then moving on to our next item on our agenda, which will be a discussion of parking minimums in the business district. We'll have an introduction to this topic by Caleb here.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Caleb.
So the intention, as in your packet, we wrote a memo.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know if anyone knows, Caleb is our management intern here. He's pursuing his master's degree in public administration, so he's helping out with management staff.
Yes.
Quick introduction.
So he's been the one taking all of our minutes, if you've noticed how comprehensive our minutes are. He's the one who's been doing that.
I've been doing that and doing that now too. But so in your packet there is a memo kind of outlining a variety of topics, things to consider. The idea with this is to create a full, comprehensive discussion of parking minimums, and just the current status of parking spaces in our districts. And so I'm here to answer any questions that you have pertaining to the memo in terms of possible recommendations we would want to give to the village board.
So the reason that you're looking into this is, in general, we've identified parking as being a big challenge for our town. I don't know if all of you have experienced the challenges of parking down here when we have events or when it's a busy time of the year. Were there other things driving specifically doing this right now? We have the potential for doing the garage in these big improvements. Is there anything else that's really pushing it at this point?
Well, I think there's just been a variety of smaller isolated incidents around where this conversation has kind of built up steam, and so staff was tasked with research, which provided a lot of the material for this memo, and just really wanted to get direction on how we want to proceed with that research, if there's anything we want to look at further on. Well, I didn't put page numbers, I wish I did, but on the second to last page, there's like 8 possible things that the commission could consider as the actual steps that we could take. So that's kind of, and also I think part of it too is, I think the commission could also figure out what the actual problem is, or how, because there's a lot of conversation about it, but what's actually, what are our goals, and then, what's the problem preventing us from achieving those goals.
Right. So I'm wondering how much time was put in by everyone on thinking about this. And I mean, I think right now I would like us all to be on the same page as understanding what our challenges really are here with parking and what we really want to be doing. So, our role, right, in P&Z is to help guide proper land usage, right, inside of town, help make sure that we're getting the most out of our land for the goals we have as a village, right? That's a big part of it. And so, it's a big challenge right now downtown. We're bringing in a lot of new businesses. The village is buying, property, and we're looking to have more development down there. And we already feel like we have a parking crunch. And, it's one of these things where our village gets a ton of, we get a lot of revenue from the sales and the commercial activities down there, which really helps our residents. It defrays a lot of the cost of, all of the costs, I believe, of running our actual village government. So it's important, it's an important foundation, important area, an important, part of our town identity to make sure that this works the right way. So what do we, maybe we talk about like what we think we want out of the downtown, in our B1 and B2 business district.
Okay. And
then that might help us think, in the document, there's some things like housing affordability, new business development, these these potential goals? I mean, you can think about all of those when making this, you know, describing your vision of what you think the downtown should really be.
So when I look at the current B1 district, and I almost feel like we need to do a different color shading, because the shading between the B1 and the B3 are almost identical.
Yeah, oh, the colors?
The color, I mean, maybe the B3 should have hash marks running through it or something, but the B1, I think, is pretty much River Street from Barrington south to maybe Hill Street is pretty much the B1 district. Then the B2 is definitely identifiable. That's all the red. However, nearly all those parcels are 100% built out, and while we exempt a certain amount of the B1 based on their first floor square footage and then their second floor square footage and the type of business that they are, some get a little more, some get a little less. If they were in a position where they had to provide parking, they can't meet that 300 foot. I mean, the 300 foot minimum. So to me, the code or the requirements for parking, I think, are fine based on the square footages. And if we want the businesses to provide more, we would then have to reduce those square footages. But then, shy of them buying a space within a parking lot or something that we build, I don't know how else they would do it, but then that 300 foot, because I mean, I know right now the vacant lot at the corner of Hill and River is being considered for either a surface lot or a parking garage. I personally think that the front part of it should be saved for a business. The back part could be parking. I guess as long as I'm rolling. Based on Joe Hines' letter, which I know is 3 years old now, each additional space in the garage costs us $80,000 a space. That, to me, that's just ridiculous. And I realize there's a lot of grants out there for garages, but I just think they're ugly. And in our quaint downtown, I keep rolling here. I'd rather condemn lionized trucking, get them out of here, get them out into the industrial park so we don't have semis running down here, turn that into a surface lot. The buildings that have various uses in them behind DC Cobb, historically it's been known as the chicken coop area here. It's a white brick building that probably dates to the 1940s, and before the village really went east of Route 25, that was our manufacturing district down there. But that's another building that should be repurposed for the demolition and turn that into a surface lot. I know we've got various property now south of 72, or we're going to have it. Have we acquired the Hager property, or
Not yet.
We acquired its parking lot.
The parking lot, that first parking lot we have, but the building not yet. So I just think that there's ample space for surface lots. Now on those surface lots is maybe where if a business, whether it be in the B1 or the B2, needs to provide parking, maybe they have to buy an annual space or two or whatever they need to fulfill their requirements within those areas. But like in our B1, Aliano's, I mean, I don't want to pick on any one restaurant, but I mean, all of our restaurants down there take up a fair number of parking spaces.
Well, and then to add to that, because I think there is a difference between, you know, the events we have, a very robust, you know, all of our events that take place, the situation with parking there is different on a Tuesday or when an event isn't taking place. place.
Yeah, so how many spaces, I thought I saw in your a memo that from Barrington to Jackson, is there 100 spaces or?
So based on, this was going off the memo a couple years ago, but as of now, not including the garage, we would be less, it would still be 97 spaces short.
Well, right, but I'm saying right now, so when we have a special event, like Thirsty Thursdays, we close from Barrington to Railroad.
Right.
How many spaces do we eliminate from, how many spaces are there? I've not physically counted,
It's
but
quite, it's, yeah.
probably 40 spaces.
You know, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure. I can get back with you on that. In terms
I
of-
mean, spaces on both sides of the street.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
there's spaces on both sides, so it closes that off. But to me, that whenever we have a special event, and Motor Monday